All right, what is up? Back with another video review session. So looks like we had a great week, which I'm pretty fired up about. So I'm just gonna get right into it here. We're starting with tall snatch. We had 2 on the minute times 5. So I remember looking at these, and these were looking really great, really solid. Hitting 95. That's a good weight for you. I really like the arms. I like you're really exaggerating the pull and the punch, which is really good. And you're looking really confident as well. So it's awesome to see. The only thing I would say is a little less dip. So if we come here, just watch your legs. You do dip a little bit. So it's a little bit of a dip. Like this is money. That is money right there. It's really good. So I would say the goal of the tall snatch is to eliminate the dip as much as possible, starting from basically an extended position and up onto the toes to initiate and pull with the arms and punch. So it's really eliminating the legs. So I would just eliminate the dip as much as possible, but everything else looks really solid. Yeah, really smooth turnover too. Nice speed. So I like it. This will be great. It's 20 pounds up too, which is really good learning. It's a snatch, deadlift, hip snatch. I forget what I said about this one. Did I make any? Oh yeah, okay. I remember what I said here. Okay, so yeah, I think we just gotta focus a little more on the deadlift, like be a little more intentional on the deadlift just to get the practice of doing the deadlift. But the actual hip snatch was really good. Really solid. Little slow on the turnover, like on the getting to the bottom, which we didn't see in the tall snatch. So it might be because it's heavier. But let's just break it down here. This is great. I still think from here, I think you can even be back a little more with your shoulders. You can actually sit back just a little bit more in this position, I think. But the dip is good. The extension is really good. It's a good pull and punch. And like, just so the comment I made from here, it looks like we're a little narrow in the catch, and it might be what's slowing it down on the way down, like the feet. I don't know. So play around with foot position in the turnover and consider trying to split your feet just a little bit wider and see what that does for comfort, like for the how that feels in the overhead squat. But if that doesn't make sense, like if because it's tough to tell from this angle, then forget about it. Yeah, it's really coming together. I think I would be focused on the feet, and I would be focused on, as soon as you get to this point, like I'm thinking about getting my ass back and getting my hips back really fast, and being in this strong catch position, like really try and get into that strong position as soon as possible. Like obviously it's a little heavy, so I'm thinking about just getting the hips back really fast, which when you play it in full speed, it actually looks pretty solid. So I would consider the feet there. And then just on the deadlift here, let's just be a little more intentional. So I think from your start position, I'd want to see the hips just a little higher. So hips about here, so that your angle is about this. Just a tad higher. Actually, you know what? I think it looks okay, but definitely here, really want to focus on using the lats and pull the bar in, right in this point. We want to pull it in and come up with it. So if I do it on video here, we're going to be passing the knee, and here I'm pulling in and shrugging up, right? So don't forget to use those lats. Consider a little higher hips in the start. But to be honest, when I actually play it, it doesn't look, because the hips do kind of rise to start. So I think that's okay. Just you see there's a lot of space between you and the bar right here. So to extend, this is going to if you were to snatch from this position, this would force you to come to the bar, reach for it with the hips versus pulling it in and extending up with it. So don't forget to use your lats there. All right, touch and go deads. Yeah, I thought these were money, like 285 too. It's great. I think you can keep it a little closer. So I think you look really good up in the upper back. I think I would be focused on keeping that as close to your body as possible as you come down the thigh and go to the floor. I think you can keep it just a little bit closer, whether that looks like getting a little tighter in the mid back or the upper back. That would be my only piece of feedback on those ones. And then walking lunges and self play. Okay. Oh yeah, I also said like a slightly softer touch as well. Like obviously it's heavy, but it's really going to force you to be tight in the upper back and keep the chest out. So yeah, a little softer touch and keep it a little closer. I think just be focused on really keeping it tight and close would be my feedback there. All right, next day. Power clean, push press. Let me just see what I said here. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so I noticed this in the cleans. Let's just do this one because it's the best angle. I noticed that you're really pushing the knees back like aggressively. And I think that you're might be overthinking that. I want to see the pause first. I want to do the pause. Okay. So the pause is actually not that bad. I think it looks like, it looks like we're stopping the push here a little bit. So basically we want to like keep pushing with the legs through the pause. So to stand this up, you're starting by pushing against the floor. And I want you to keep that going through here. Like right here, you should still feel like your quads are pushing. You should still feel like a leg press here. And then through the pause, we want to continue to push. And it looks a little bit like, I don't know if that's how it feels, but it just looks a little bit like we're focusing on maybe pushing the knees back versus continuing to push up. And I think that's just limiting. I think it's just limiting the extension. Like the extension is not wrong. It's actually fine. And the bar path is great. Like you're no longer bumping it out, which is awesome. So that's a huge win. I just think we can be focused here, pushing through the pause, if that makes sense. Everything else is good. And then, the hips, we want to keep the hips back. That's what your tendency is in the clean, is for the hips to be like, the hips are like here when you catch, and we want the hips to be back here. So it's going to be a pull and really tight and strong in this catch position versus catching it and being like this, right? So that's what I mean by hips back. So maybe we can work on maybe a warm-up drill. We can work on just like an empty bar hang power clean and focus on really strong position in the turnover and catch. So that's that would be my thing with those. And then the clean and push press, like it's the same thing. I think the knees are a little more exaggerated here, or like that concept of the knees. I think that it's good. The weight looks like it's shifting back a little bit to the heels here. You can see that your toes peek up a little bit. So we want to be pushing. I think we just want to be pushing more through like right here in the foot versus back here. But it actually looks pretty solid. And the extension is pretty good. Just want to really keep those elbows out and pulling it up. And then again, just finishing that extension, and really pushing and flexing the quads through this part. And then it's the same with the hips. You see the hips how we're here. We gotta get a little more confident on the pull over or the turnover and get the hips back. And maybe I'll send you a video, or if you just want to watch some videos of power cleans and just watch the positions of weightlifters when they catch in the power, or in a clean, but like the power, it's really exaggerated. Like just watch their hips and watch the strength and the tightness of that position. And then it's the same with the push press too. Like we keep the hips kind of here, and the bar is like behind the hips almost. So we want to like straighten this out and perhaps get the hips like a little bit back. Just like straighten this out because we're kind of in this like not really strong position. And I think that will really help. The push press looks really good, so I think that will help. But yeah, let's just watch this. This is the pause. Yeah, like man, it looks really good. Like to be honest, like comparatively to 3 months ago. So it's slow improvements for sure. This one, it really exposes what I was talking about. Like you can tell that you really like you push it off the ground, and then here, watch, you're just going to sit back a little bit, and that just tells me that you're now no longer pushing with the quads. And I think here what you did was you didn't use any legs, and all you did was use your upper body to get the bar to this position, and then as a result we have no legs. So right here we want to stay over the bar more, meaning like we want to continue to be using the quads and pushing. So the pause just stops the stand. Like if we're just standing up with the bar, the pause just stops that, but we're still keeping all the pressure like in the front here and right through this part of the foot. And then past the pause, we continue to push versus just like now using our upper body to pull it in. So, all right, no more bits there. All right, this is pull-ups. So yeah, the pull-ups look pull-ups look solid, man. Look good. You're looking strong up there. You know, a couple months ago, or like, you know, back when, I would have saw a little bit more shrugging and cheating there on that last one. So that's good. It shows a lot more control in the lats. I think like, you know, just consider, I don't know why this helps me, but just like always trying to point the toes down to the ground in the pull-up. kind of like flexing the front of the shin downwards. I don't know, give it a shot, see if it helps. And then the strict handstand push-ups looking great. I was just trying to be, I think the thing I said was just trying to be a little faster out of this position, like as fast as you can be. Maybe you're trying that. So I think that's just where we need to improve, is the speed off the floor. But yeah, it looks good. Good lockout. So it's just going to be strength, just building strength. And that's going to take, years. It's going to take a lot of time. But slowly we just chip away and we get better every time we come in, because basically you're really slowing down throughout the set, where like you're taking a pause at the top, which shows me like, it's really getting tough here. So we just got to get the baseline up. But other than that, yeah, it's good. And then we're gonna go to clean and jerks. Yes, okay. So I literally just commented on this. So I think with the clean, these actually look better than the ones I just did, like with the pause. So it looks like you took the feedback, which is awesome. So I want to review, well, this one, I think the second one was better. So let's review that one. So this is really good. I like what happens right here off the floor. This was, again, just like, 3 months ago, you were doing something way different than this. Like you were actually like kind of, the shoulders were going back first. I really like right here how this pushes up to start the lift. That's really good. I think if you maybe like a half an inch higher in the start, I think it actually might make a difference. So give that a shot. But I really like this. This is good. And then again, I think we're still seeing a little bit of sitting back here. So sitting back just a little bit in this pause. So we want to keep the pressure right here. And then here, again, kind of sitting back again. So kind of pulling it around the knee a little bit versus continuing to stand. But the pull is pretty good. Despite the legs, the pull is pretty good. So I think the biggest thing to keep focusing on, sorry, my dog's barking up there, is I think the biggest thing to just keep focusing on is, here, just give me a sec. Yeah, so I think the biggest thing to keep focusing on is, continuing to use those legs. So here, we want to stay here and then watch your shoulders. They kind of go back a little bit. So we want to stay here and continue to push with the legs versus let the shoulders come back. And then, it's the same thing, same thing here, just continuing to push through the pauses, just staying over a little bit more, I think. And then from here, I think just, really, again, just working on the leg extension. So I think this position is actually good. Like this is a good position. It's just how we get there, I think, has to be a little different. So, because this is a good power position. It's just how we get here, it has to be a little different, I think. And then the jerk, yeah, I think we're gonna have to just, oh, whoops. How did that happen? I think that the jerk, we just have to, we might have to take a step back and just work on technique, which is okay. So basically, like, initial feedback is legs straight to start. So tighten these up. Posted the back squat video in the Facebook group. And I touched on this of like, really tightening and tensing up here, and then you dip. So we are coming. I think you're dipping a little low too. You're really like, you have great ankle flexion, but you're really really forwards here. So I'd want you to dip through like back here, because you're really forwards. And what's happening is, you can see you're going forwards with the press. Like, you can see that the way that you press is a little forwards. So I would want to, tighten the legs up and then dip straight right under here. Like, this is where you should be dipping under, not up here. And then we're just pressing it out. Like, we're getting stuck here, and then you're pressing it. So that's going to help. That's going to come with the leg a little bit further in front on the step, but also just like thinking about it as we're kind of dropping under it versus trying to press it. So here we are, we have to extend fully straight up, and we want to drop under with the bar right over our hips. And we want to be right in the center here. Bar finishes over the hips, and we want to press and lock it and drop under versus press, stop, and then press it out. Yeah, and this foot should be a little further in front, but you should think more about it as I'm dropping under versus I'm trying to like push press it. So we'll work on that. Back squats, single leg, good stuff. Okay. And then the last one, oh, no videos from this day. So yeah, I mean, making a lot of progress, especially in the clean. So each week is just a new, if you think it's just like 0.1% improvement week to week, it's, over time we're getting better. And yeah, I'm confident that things are going to shake out well. So I also just put on like a Sunday like check-in. If you want to do it or not, I'm going to do that for everybody. Just put in like a weekly like review, like just kind of review yourself and like how you can be better next week, how did you get better the past week, those types of things. So that's there if you didn't see it. And yeah, I'll catch you next week, man. Good job. Keep working.